Hola, whizzy wizards, and welcome back to the pursuit of happiness with me, Pigtail Girl, your friend and fellow wizard. And today's little show is about what's been going on planet Earth. A lot, as always. It's certainly never boring. It might be a little tiring sometimes, but it's certainly never boring once your eyes are wide open. So today's show, I'd like to discuss the Schumann's resonance chart. And for those of you who follow mine and Starfire's work, you know that we go to great lengths to show you what the Schumann's resonance chart is really saying, away from all the dogma, away from all the new age belief systems that it's the fifth dimension downloading and we're going into our crystalline bodies. I mean, I don't know how long they're going to keep pushing that storyline because, I mean, 2012 has been and gone a long time ago. And another thing about the New Age movement is that a lot of it's based on archangels and, again, faulty Abrahamic text. Anything that's talking about archangels doesn't know. It's not the truth. It doesn't know what it's talking about because, as I've tried to explain here, archangels are false matrix deception. They were indeed soldiers who worked for the slave master Elohim, Anunnaki, negative reptilians, who invaded us and put us into the false matrix 6,000 years ago after a battle that nearly wiped out planet Earth. They are not our friends and they are not anchoring in anything and they are not defending us. The true angels are called the Alarians. Now, if you're new here, you might think, well, how does Pigtail Girl know that? Well, you can go and watch the Time Chronicles and you can hear over there on that podcast what I'm talking about. But for now, we're going to call the angels the Alarians. And this is why the Elohim took the word El and put it into all their words. Because whenever you're going to seed false matrix information, what you do is you take a little seed of something that's familiar and you weave it through the story. And we can see that a lot of the ancient cultures, the tribes people who have not been taken into the Abrahamic matrix, the false matrix, still remember a time when they were living with star ancestors. It's like a gone distant memory, but that's why you have stories of helpful ETs that worked with humans, that gave us information, who helped guide us, who created us, because we were bioengineered, but we weren't bioengineered by the Anunnaki. That's, again, false matrix information. There is no ascension into 5D. That's just not a thing. If it was a thing, it would have already happened, and it's not happening. And that's all, again, false matrix deception. And it's so important to know these things because what you want to do is you want to get out of the false matrix deception and into the proper matrix, which is full of truth, divine truth. And this is going to open up your brain gates. You can't open up your brain gates when you're stuck in the false matrix deception. And the false matrix of deception, it really is a frequency of just deception. And it was built on war, slavery, deception, all the false stories that the scribes were forced to write down and then hand down through the generations as our gospel truth. And again, I've known for some time that the archangels were not to be trusted. And it's just nice that we have people like Paul Wallace and Mauro Biglino now coming out with, the true meanings of the Bible now. So even they're saying what Pigtail Girl already knew over on their show. But I'm not a scholar. I'm an intuitive. I guess I've realized about myself that one gift or frequency that I've always had is somehow the truth finds me. And it's just a gift I've always had. And it led me to being bullied because I would see through people's bullshit too quickly and people didn't like that. And it's like with the flat earth, when the flat earth came out, I immediately was shown it was run by web bots. So I immediately knew it was bullshit. As soon as I did my debunking videos, all these web bots would swarm my page. I was like, oh, okay, it's run by web bots. That's not no surprise to me. So I guess one of my gifts is that I have a uncanny gift of being shown the truth. And I guess it's a part of my life purpose to find the truth because I've had to find Starfire Tour and then do missions with her. So things like we're seeing in the Schumann's resonance chart on the 27th of February, could occur because had humans not come together in the Operation Warriors of Light missions and done all the work we did, we might not be sitting here today seeing this battle going the way we want because humans also have to play their part. We have to play our role. But if we don't know what that part or role is, and we're all sitting around waiting to ascend into the fifth dimension or for Jesus to come back and save us, we're not in our power. We're not the wizard. We're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. But we need to be playing our part against this Vol Shadé. You'll hear me call them the Vol Shadé, and that's the name the star ancestors call the Vol infected Shadé, who are the reptilians. That's their name, the Shadé. And there are non-Vol infected Shadé who are a part of the star ancestor group as well. So I just wanted to put that out there. So getting to the Schumann resonance chart, I'm going to show you the charts. You can freeze it. Now, at the end, I'm going to also tell you some very weird timeline edit shenanigans that were going on with these charts and this report that I'm going to read you from Starfire Tour about what's been going on the Schumann resonance charts, because she has dated it the 26th of February, and she did her report the day before any of this happened, as if she was traveling through time, and then her report disappeared. The dates were different, and then we were all saying to her on Facebook, but Starfire, it was the 27th of February. And she's like, but I wrote this report yesterday and then it disappeared and then it reappeared. This is weird. So some very strange timeline shifts, edit glitches have been going on. So just for the watcher at home, I'd like to say that the date on the chart says 26th that she's written on the Schumanns, but actually it was the 27th. And the frequencies you're going to see occurred from 0 to 0. So it's a complete 24-hour block of frequency. Now, some of the rumors doing the rounds is it was the Vol Shadé sending out a message. That's no. This is us going into the fifth dimension. This is downloading frequencies. No, it's none of that. So without further ado, here are the charts. You can pause it, you can take a screenshot, do what you need, grab those charts. And now I'm going to go to Starfire's report and what she's got to say about it. Because she's definitely the expert on the Schumann resonance chart. I'm just her mentor. I'm sorry, she's my mentor. I'm just her student. Okay, so here's what she says. Um, Schumann resonance goes wonky, explained. No, the Schumann's resonance goes wonky, explained. Elarian ET angels, so that's the true name of the angels, worldwide energy sweep. And she says the second 26 of the third, what's that mean? The the second 26th third 2025. No, I think she meant 26th of February 2025. Unearthing of Vol Shadé ET reptilians, core matrix, timeline edits, and embedded messages. Starting on February 26, 2025 UTE and lasting exactly 24 hours to the minute. So that should be the 27th of Feb. Earth's worldwide Schumann resonance chart went absolutely wonky. I watched it develop from the start as I collected data to try and figure out what was causing the wonkiness. It's something that I've never exactly seen before, although there have been some wonky Schumann resonance chart readings in the past. This one was uniquely different and, as it turns out, profound on many levels. It took more than a day to determine that the wonkiness was not caused by a human messing around with the chart settings, although they probably tried to correct the wonkiness. The chart's underpinning graphs, from which the chart's more sophisticated colours and shapes come from, showed normal but raised energy. Nothing in the chart's graphic underpinnings translate to what the chart visually produced. This was an anomaly of the highest order. I'll cut to the chase. That Schumann resonance chart wonkiness was caused by an Alarian ET angel worldwide energy sweep. The action's purpose was aimed at sweeping the planet for the underground boroughs where the Volshadei ET reptilians live and work. And remember, guys, like I've tried to tell you, we're at war here. The war never ended. The war that started eons ago never ended because the Ilarians and the Star Ancestors had to step away to stop worldwide destruction because the Volshadei will destroy everything. And how they do that is they like to bombard us with asteroids and meteors. That's one of the weapons that they use against us. And they tried to do that again recently and they caused a timeline reboot, but it was deflected by the Star Ancestors and the Ilarians. And this happened in February. I told you February it would be stepping up. So the Alarian ET Angels piggybacked this global action with the post-Core Matrix timeline reboot and yesterday's Core Matrix timeline edits. You can see the foreshadowing and outright messaging in my February 25th, 2025 Schumann Resonance Report. If you're on the Telegram group or on Facebook, you'll see those reports. It's worth a reread and it's important for context. The Ilarian ETs, who are the Volshadei ET reptilians' main cosmic foe, were positioning to do something grand and Earth helpful, while utilizing the sun's activity and the core matrix's timeline edits, and days earlier the timeline reboot. Here's that report. She puts the link to that report. As it happens, the core matrix added more to the message in the Schumann resonance chart through its writings and imaging embedded into the wonky Schumann resonance chart readings of February 26, 2025, meaning the 27th to us. The wonky part is preceded by the angel wings that I showed in the pictorials, including, by the angel wings that I showed in the February 25th chart. The text that is hidden in the chart, which is written in many different ancient and modern languages and pictorials, included Sumerian, Chinese, Hebrew, Greek, runes, English, the ET Earth Consortium Ilarian languages, and other known and unknown to the modern world. I've attached an enlarged cropped image of one of those core matrix embedded text images just to make it a bit easier for you to see and possibly translate yourself. There's much more embedded in there than this. Translated, which I was partially able to do, the core matrix message said that the Ilarians were going to release a planet-wide energy sweep of the entire planet. The energy sweep would cover everything within the atmospheric canopy to below the Earth through and through. Why? They were doing a sweep to locate all of the underground burrows of the Volshadei ET reptilians. It's not like a person could use LiDAR or satellites to find them. These burrows, some of which have existed for thousands of years, although some are much never used, although some are much newer, use a specialized frequency that hides them. Not all the burrows use the same frequency formula. It's not that the Ilarians don't have the tech to find the Volshadei ET reptilians. They do. They know exactly where they are, and I've given this intel to the ET Earth Consortium. This has kept most of the Volshadei ET reptilian activity to a minimum, but it's a very complicated situation. The upside this time is that the ET Ilarian angels have gained a sense of renewed hope in humans that are not minions of the Volshadei ET reptilians. This is what I mean, how important it is for humans to be in their power and to fight against these forces. But sadly, so many are trapped in the Abrahamic deception that it's hard for them to be fully potent. This Ilarian energy sweep will not just locate those Volshadei ET reptilian underground burrows, it will make staying in their burrows very uncomfortable for them. Some frequencies can hide things. Other frequencies, like the ones the Ilarians are using, can make them stand out and unsafe to hide in. In turn, this will make things even more uncomfortable for their minions. Now that Earth has its proper matrix frequency back, after having existed in a false matrix frequency for thousands of years, that was because of the OWOL, we restored the proper matrix. That was our part, that was what we did. This Ilarian energy sweep is going to do wonders with helping to open the human brain gates. the brain gates that were closed down by the false matrix. So we didn't know truth and we couldn't find truth. Pigtail Girl and I will share more about this in our upcoming The Time Chronicles show about opening the human brain gates. So please do go and subscribe to The Time Chronicles because there's going to be so much going on over there. Okay, so that's really the report part on the what's been going on the Schumann resonance chart. So what you're seeing there is from 0 to 0, a 24-hour period where the Alarians use a frequency. It's like, like trying to smoke out rats. They were sending it through every aspect of our planet from the atmosphere to the core to try to frequency sweep out the Volshadei because they hide in their protected burrows underground. I think there's one in Israel, and there's probably places where what we call the holy lands. I mean, what a joke! All these things humans believe about holy lands and special stones and archangels, not realizing that that's all the slave matrix. It's like enslaved people worshipping their masters, praying to their masters to bless them. It's kind of sickening to me at this point. I've got to be honest with you. It really and YouTube land is full of it. So many tarot readers I follow talk about this is a reading from Archangel Michael. You're a star seed. You came from this planet to help raise the vibration for the fifth dimension. No, we didn't. No, we are star seeds in the fact that we were seeded by star ancestors on this planet. Our souls come from this planet, but we have DNA memory that comes from the star ancestors. And no, we are not ascending. We are in the middle of a battle that we are trying to end that has been raging on this planet for thousands of years. And now is the time it's all coming to a crunch. So it's certainly an exciting time to be alive. Like I said to you, it's certainly never boring. But as you can see by the state of humanity's brain gates and what they believe on, we destroyed the false matrix, but all of the deceptions are still seeded through everyone's consciousness here. I mean, imagine a world where you had no more Abrahamic religions pitting all these different groups in perpetual war. At the moment, we have so much going on with the Abrahamic religions. If they were seeded by anything good, they wouldn't lead to rotten fruit. They wouldn't lead to non-stop fighting and wars and endless chaos. We've got the RA and the P and the E gangs now in the UK, coming from certain sects. You got the what's going on over there in, Israel and Palestine raging on, and the world is certainly no better off for this false matrix deception that we've all been under, because it stops people going through true awakenings and finding true truth, And once you know just a few things like archangels are not the angels, then you can see anything at all that's coming to you or being channeled or being put to these archangels and they're involved with it. You can call bullshit on it. It's really that simple. You can call bullshit on it. And it's even the flat earth. It's like it's all linked into this bullshit Abrahamic nonsense, false matrix stuff. Where do they get the idea the world is flat? I mean, that's not going to open up their brain gates, is it? And as you know, I'm all about opening up the brain gates of the wizard on this channel and helping you to become empowered. And it's not easy because if you're not pushing everyone's mainstream bullshit, you're an outlier. I'm an outlier here on YouTube. People don't want to have me and come and talk on their show because if they believe in the ascension and I'm going to be sitting there saying, yeah, it's not happening, they don't want to invite me on their show. So, the real truth speakers, apart from obviously the Bible scholars like Mauro Biglino and Paul Wallace, it's sometimes hard for us to have our voices heard. So that's why I do ask people to share mine and Starfire's podcasts, my YouTube show. Come and join the Telegram group where you can really find out what's really being said on the Schumann resonance chart instead of following the very, very popular false matrix deceptive information coming from people with closed brain gates telling you that this is your DNA, being upgraded and stuff. Show me any truth. Show me where anyone has really upgraded their DNA and ascended into the fifth dimension. And I'll eat this tissue. This tissue, that'll be my lunch right there. It ain't happening. Sorry, but none of that's happening. It's all We live in a swamp of bullshit, guys. And it's been going on for thousands of years, right? This is my main message I want to drum into people. It's time to grow up and let go. You know, I went to some New Age conferences back in 2004. And for a moment, I believed in it. I have to say, I was much younger and I hadn't opened up my brain gates fully yet. I was still plugged into false matrix. And it was all about Archangel Gabriel and Archangel Michael were ascending from the heavens. And this was with Patty Cota Robles, her name was. She was so charismatic and you really believed in her. And she was, ascended master Saint Germain and the violet flame and all this stuff. And nothing she said, like however charismatic and popular she was doing her huge conferences, not one thing she said ever came true. Not one. She told us in 2004 that the ceremony we'd done had ended all war. There'd be no more war. There's been nothing but war since then. So it's just like it's nonsense. All these New Agers, Dolores Cannon, all that stuff that was channeled from the Victorian era. It's all astral plane nonsense. Astral plane entities or people with no real brain gate opening, clutching at straws and coming up with stories not based in any fact. All of these Elohim were the Volshadei. They were these negative reptilians that invaded us. Everything they gave us caused war. Everything they gave us caused suffering. Just look at those religions. If it tells you how to treat your slaves, if it tells you how to RA and a PE the women who don't believe in your religion, if it tells you how to go to war and steal other people's bits of land, if it's telling you how to treat other humans like less human than you, like you're the chosen ones, then it's all bullshit. That's not creator. That's not coming from God. God as in creator. That's coming from little g gods. There's nothing holy or divine about any of those religions. And you can just see the fruits. You know the seed, you see the fruits. Where is the fruit? Where is the good fruit from it all? We should all be living in love and peace by now, if that was really divinely inspired. All of this obsession with messiahs and prophets and scribes and their silly books. And you can't say anything against them, and the way they have to make laws, making it, they come and oof you if you even have a different idea to them in some countries, right? It's all bullshit. It's time to really we need to wake up now and plug ourselves back into that proper matrix and demand truth. Let go of everything you ever thought you believed and demand truth, right? Let that truth in, because the truth is there and it will come to you, but you have to ask for it and you have to let go of all the things you thought you knew before. So, my dears, that's the hard work. That's the ouchy work no one likes to do, because releasing dogma, you go through a little mini grief, right? You do. It feels like a grief. It's like learning Santa Claus isn't real or the tooth fairy is not real. It's like you go through little grief, but then you open up your brain gates and you can allow the truth in. That's why I say to people, going down endless rabbit holes into nonsense land, that's not opening your brain gates. It's wasting your time when you could actually be doing something positive, like the OWOL missions we were doing. How hard was it to get people to come and do that? Because they were like, but I don't need to do that. I'm going into the fifth dimension, right? No, hardly anyone could be bothered to turn up. Thank God we got 3,000 warriors of light to actually turn up, because, Jesus is coming. We don't need to do that, right? You see how those stupid stories disempower us when we're at war, when we're at war with an invading hostile species. And it has been so cleverly crafted to stop us attacking the slave masters. We hail them as holy. We hail them as God. That is 100% false matrix nonsense. The more you look into it and the more you get the true translation of the ancient text and cross-reference it with loads of other text and then look at tribal stories, you can see there's a whole load of nonsense going on there. And it wasn't pretty. But there are good star ancestors here. There are the true angels here, and they are working very hard to help us help ourselves at this moment in time. So it's actually very good what has just happened in the Schumann's resonance chart, my darlings. So feel happy. ask, what can I do to help? Right? What can I do to help? Well, you can work on yourself and you can get those brain gates open and you can empower yourself and spread the word and hopefully empower others, my dears. So, on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you before the show gets too long. And I will see you on the next episode of The Pursuit of Happiness, which is really happiness to me comes from truth, the proper matrix. And I will see you on the next episode. One love.